Good morning. I don't know if you're still sleeping. I'm guessing that most of you are up. I've already had my coffee this morning and I've been out in the shower already and my hair's still wet. So this is how Mrs. Wright looks at home when I don't have to get ready for school every day. And today is Earth Day, and I always have a hard time sending you videos, but I wanted to read a story to you today because it's Earth Day. And this story is called Underground by Denise Fleming. Oh, look at this page. It's underground. Oh, look at that. That's a wrench that's underground. I have a tool, and here's a little, some wire or some chain that's underground, and there's a nail. So I have a tool that actually, when you hold it on the ground, and some of you might have one, or Grandma and Grandpa might have one, or someone you know, that actually, it's called a metal detector, and it will detect metal under the ground. And since we live on property that's really, really old property, we find some of those things on our property underground. And here is our title page. Isn't that a pretty title page? Most of our title pages aren't pretty like that. They just have a white page and with the title. But this one's very pretty. And this one's a dedication page. Let's see if I can read it backwards. For my sister, Rochelle. So the author, Denise Fleming, wrote this book for her sister. And it looks like this story might be on Earth Day too, because look at, they're planting. It looks like they have seeds or something. I'm not sure what's there, but they're planting some trees. And here's the wheelbarrow. And look at that little squirrel and a little boy and his dog. And there's a robin. I didn't know what this bird was at first, but then I looked as I read the book before. At first I thought, oh, it's not a crow and it's not a raven because it's red, but it sure looks like a blackbird, and robins aren't black. But this bird is a robin. And as I read this story, maybe you'll figure out how I know that. Low down, way down, here he comes flying down. Robin Redbreast. Underground, and there he is getting a worm. Creatures dig. Look at that bunny. He's digging up some flowers that he's eating. And here's a mole. I've got one of these in my yard. I don't like him very much. He's digging up my yard. And run around. Look at that. They're running around. Whoops. Look at the ants. Oops. Can you see them? They're building a home underground. Ooh, there's a ground squirrel. I don't know if he's called a red squirrel or a chipmunk, but look at, and he's saving some food under there. And here is a groundhog past highways and byways. This little guy lives in my yard. Matter of fact, there's one that lives across the street and there's one that lives on this side of the street. And I will put a picture with this so that you can see, or maybe even, I might even have a video of him eating in the yard. What does that say? Squirmways. That's why I wasn't getting it. Squirmways. I'm trying to read it backwards. And wormways. Squirmy wormies. Look at, there's a frog there, and a chameleon or a salamander, and there's a little mouse. Digging furrows and burrows. That's what's underneath our ground. Look at that turtle, he laid some eggs, didn't he? And it says round roots and bones. Look at that's a doggy. Look at his teeth. Rocks and stones. Hey! This book must know what we've been talking about, rocks and stones. And look at all the soil. He's planting. Oh, there's bees funneling and tunneling. Look at the baby bunnies. So my son got stung by some ground bees like that. Like 60 of them. It was not a nice thing. Working their way through sand and clay. They do know what we're studying. They're talking about sand and clay and soil. And look at, there's some water because they're planting. What does that say? Bing cherry. That's a Bing cherry tree. Low down, way down. Underground. Look at that. Underground. And here's all the things that we saw in the story. All the little things that we saw in the story. Except for, look at this. I don't remember seeing him. I think I might have to go back and look. Because I don't remember seeing a fox. Do you? Let's look. No fox on that page. There's a dog. Is there a fox on that page? I don't see a fox. What about on that page? I don't see a fox there. How about here? Do you see a fox? Not me, but I see kind of a long triangle. Ooh, we could find some shapes maybe in this book too. Those look like circles. Not on that page. There's the fox. He was kind of hiding down here. Whoop, there he is. He was on the page with the ants. Yep. So that story was called Underground. Well, I hope you liked the story. And I hope you're having a great day and enjoying the sand and mud, because mud unit is coming up next. So enjoy finding your sand and soil, your soil samples. And I don't know if you found any and labeled them yet, but I put a video together for you, and I hope that you had a chance, or you will soon get to see that and see all the samples that I found. I still have to do some work on reading about those samples and telling you about those samples, because, you know, in the potting soil, those little white things, I want to know what those are. So, and then I'm going to look up, remember sandy loam, I think I had some questions about, and the peat. The peat is, there's all like 12,000 kinds of peat, and that was the one that was kind of grassy looking. So there's all kinds of moss, I should say moss. There's all kinds of peat moss, and a lot of it is found in Michigan, but I'm not sure if that was considered peat. I think that was my question. So I'll get back with you soon. Bye.